here. What's good, Deedee Gang? It's your girl Destiny,
and it's Mykirah,
and I am back with another freaking lituation. As you guys know, if you have not already, be sure to look on Mykirah's channel, channeling
Locked In with Kira,
and I will have the link in the description box down below, so you guys can tune in for part 1 of the Girls Talk series. As y'all know, I'm pretty sure that y'all see for part 2 that we are going to be talking about relationships for the Girls Talk series. And if you have not already, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that red button down below. Let's just get into the video. So, what we got on topic for the first?
Okay, so I feel like I've been in more relationships than Destiny. No, not really, but I've dealt with more people.
She definitely has.
So I would say for relationships, like, make sure it's not toxic. Like, if the boy is like telling you to change yourself and change how you look or things like that, and he's basically not telling you that you're beautiful, you don't need to be in a relationship. If he's abusing you in any type of way, like emotionally, mentally, or even physically, you don't need to be in a relationship at all. Like,
at all. Or
leave the
even
relationship.
And then another thing that I would say is that don't ever make a guy make you feel like you need to rely on him, and if he's not around, that you're going to be nothing without him. Ladies, let me let you know something. There's a lot of things that you are capable of, and make sure you make it very clear before you even get the relationship started, because don't think no guy make it feel like you need him, because what? No,
we definitely don't
at all.
We are independent women, okay? So yeah, and get out your head this fairy tale that relationships are perfect and there's not arguments.
Yes.
You're gonna argue in a relationship, but I'm just saying, like, don't let it get physical. Like, y'all shouldn't be throwing jabs at each other. Like, all of a sudden you just don't like this stuff about each other. Like, it shouldn't be like that. And it shouldn't even really be an argument. It should really be a disagreement. Like, y'all should be able to talk something out reasonably. Like, if it's something that you don't like, you should be able to sit your boyfriend down, like, okay, like, I think we need to fix this together. How will we take the steps to do that? Like, y'all should be able to talk things out,
even if you have to agree to disagree, because I know there's going to be a lot of situations, whether you're in a relationship, whether it's friendships or whatever, sometimes you got to agree to disagree, because is you really going to mess up a whole friendship over a little disagreement, or because you like pink and they like blue? Like, come on, man. Are you serious?
And that's for both relationships and friendships.
Yes, so it doesn't matter. Sometimes you can agree to disagree if it's that small, but if you feel like it's big enough and y'all need to have a conversation about it, then have a conversation about it. Don't just allow things to bottle up, and then when it gets to a point where you just get sick of it, you got bombs. You just you just throwing bombs because you was bottling stuff in from last year or months ago, and you decided not to say anything. Don't bring up stuff from back then. Talk about it at the situation or at the time, at the moment. At the moment. Don't allow it to anger you up, and then you want to bring up old stuff. Don't do that,
because then both of y'all will be thinking, well, like, where's all this coming from?
Yes.
So yeah, definitely talk about it at the moment that you're feeling that way, so nothing gets to the point where it's like y'all can never be friends with each other ever again.
And then also, like, when you're in an argument, be careful of the things that you say, because sometimes you can say crazy things, and then after you calm down, it's like, dang, did I really mean that? Like, I didn't mean to say that, but because I was angry, that's what I decided to say. And then you just messed up something because you said the wrong things out your mouth. I know personally
that takes stuff too far,
and that's something that's me. And I'm not just saying it just because I'm not the type of person who's going to tell somebody to do something that I wouldn't do. That's something person that I am working on, but at the end of the day, we're all young and we're all working on things. Like, what is life without groups? Like, you're going to learn and you're going to grow as you go. But I just feel like you have to put a step forward and actually want to grow, and not be okay with just being toxic, or okay with being mean, or being a certain way. Like, yes, it's okay to have positive attributes and positive characteristics, but everybody has things that they need to work on, and mine is just saying very mean things.
Right. And I feel like, as Destiny said before, like, growth in a friendship and in a relationship, like, y'all both should be growing with each other. Y'all both should be supporting each other. Y'all both should be motivating each other. Like, it's a two-way street. Like, the situation should be beneficial for both of y'all. You feel me? So if the person is tearing you down and you lifting them up, that's a problem, because y'all should be
you need to
motivating
reevaluate that. You need to reevaluate that relationship. And remember, relationships are just not romantic wise. They can be friendships. They can be something as simple as your mom and dad. Yeah, you're like, it's, you know, it's just, you know, a relationship is a partnership with 2 or more people. So sometimes those types of people can be very toxic, and sometimes you might have to reevaluate the way that you run, the way that things are, you know, presented, or the way that things are ran, or reevaluate the relationship in general.
Yeah, and like that's what you said before, like even with your parents, like I know a lot of times like it's hard to like talk to your parents about certain things, but sometimes you have to, and don't just like try to yell at them like they're yelling at you. Like actually sit down and like have your parents understand, like, okay, like I didn't like that you said this to me, or I don't like that you do this. Like what can we do so you can better understand like where I'm coming from? You feel me? Because I would say like I'm very close to my mom, and like as I'm growing up, like my mom had to realize certain stuff that we had to talk about in order for her to understand like where I'm coming from, and for me to understand where she's coming from. So sometimes we both had to sit each other down, like, okay, well, like how do you feel about what I said, and what can we do so we can come to terms with each other, so we can come to an agreement. So you have to do that in any type of situation.
Yep. And then also don't allow any relationship or the other person to always make you feel like you're wrong all the time, and that they're always right. Whether it's your parents making you feel like everything that they say that they're right, or whether they're in a relationship and they always think that every time they say something that they're always right. No, because there are times where they can be wrong, and somebody could be wrong, and they might not even recognize or be able to see that they are wrong. And you need to call them out. Don't just close your mouth and not say anything. No, call them out, okay?
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I used to be like that. Like I would argue with a person there, and I used to realize like, wait, I wasn't right about that, and I realized like I would have to go back and apologize. I was like, okay, I was wrong about this, and then we could talk about, you know, what you were saying. You feel me? Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to reevaluate yourself.
Yes. And there's nothing wrong with saying sorry or apologizing, because at the end of the day, we're humans. We all make mistakes, and again, like I said, it's called growth. So, you know, acknowledging that you were wrong, and then being able to go back and be like, okay, I was wrong, or, you know, evaluating or checking yourself. That's a part of growth. And I feel like we all, as we grow older, we need to get to a point where we acknowledge that we're wrong, or that, you know, we made a mistake, accepting it, apologizing, and moving forward.
Right. Definitely true. Definitely.
And your parents can be wrong too, okay? Don't let them make
otherwise.
Okay?
Alright, what's the next thing?
Angela.
So with dating, okay, I'll talk about this. So with dating, you don't have to date. Like, don't let society make you think you had to date.
Or that you have to be in a relationship.
Yeah, like it's okay.
Or
like
that you need a man or you need a woman. Like,
yeah, it's okay to be 17 and not dating. Like that's okay. Like it's completely fine. But I would say if you are dating, make sure you're comfortable with the person that you're dating with. Like if you see red flags in relationships, like even with friendships too, if you see red flags, like cut them off, because nobody should be making you feel uncomfortable. Like recently, I had to tell one of my friends that something that they did made me feel uncomfortable. So it's just like, be comfortable with doing it. Like let a person know like what you did made me feel uncomfortable. Like I'm not sure if I really want to continue this friendship or continue this relationship, or do I just want to leave you behind? Like make them know that, because if you keep going through with the relationship, they're going to realize like you're basically digging yourself into a deeper hole, to the point where mentally you're starting to get messed up in your head, and you don't want to do that to yourself. So let them know upfront, like you did this made me feel uncomfortable.
And if they can, and sometimes red flags does not automatically mean that you have to cut them off. That just can simply mean that you have a conversation and be like, okay, well, it's you, either you fix it, or we just won't have this relationship anymore, or we just won't have this friendship, and you just don't need to be a part of my life. Because again, like I said, sometimes we all make mistakes, and sometimes we also might have habits that we might not even acknowledge that they're toxic and that they could affect somebody else. And so with a simple conversation, I can be like, okay, well, you did this and this made me feel uncomfortable. And then sometimes they can be like, okay, yeah, I'll fix it, and they might never do do it again. And you know, look at you saved the relationship, but you also had a conversation about something, and that was a red flag. But then sometimes people do not, sometimes people cannot acknowledge the fact that they are wrong, and that's the part where you need to, you know, reevaluate and decide whether or not you want to cut them off. Most likely, I'm gonna tell y'all to cut them off, but at the end of the day, the choice all comes down to you.
Right. Also with dating, like, remember, it's a partnership, okay? So it's a two-way street. Like, y'all both gotta be willing to talk to each other. Y'all both gotta be willing to make time for each other. I think, and a lot of times with relationships, like, sometimes, like, one significant other puts it all on the other to, like, figure out things, like, and don't be afraid to tell your significant other that you want to go out on dates. Like, all the time you don't want to be chilling in the house. I mean, some people is comfortable with that. Like, I'm not the type to really, like, go out. But, you know, now I tell the person that I'm dealing with, okay, now I want to go out. Like, now I want us to do something together. Okay. You feel me? And, you know, it's important to be like that.
I want to link up. I want to see you today. Yes.
Yeah, like, it's important to be like that. There's nothing wrong with saying that. And your significant other should definitely be motivating you. Like, well, we're not together, but the person that I deal with, like, he told me, like, you know, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what you're doing. Like, your significant other should be doing it. They should be motivating.
They should be your number one supporter, other than yourself. Period. Well, your number two supporter. You should always be your number one supporter. But your significant other should be number two. Okay?
Definitely. All right, exes. What do you say about exes?
Exes.
Listen, dude, you don't need to argue with your ex. Like, you don't need to. And honestly, listen, if your ex come back to you, like, so suddenly, like, now they want to be back with you, you don't need to take them back. Especially, like, if the relationship wasn't good the first time. Okay. You don't need to try for real, too. I mean, that's your choice, but you don't have to. Because some people, like, they go back to their exes because they felt comfortable in a relationship. But you don't have to go back. Like, you can tell them no. Okay. Tell them kick rocks.
Because where was you at before?
Exactly. Like, why didn't it work out the first time?
And then also, like, what I would say is, if you move on into a new relationship, your exes, make sure that they know their place. Like, I know a lot of times that I've seen relationships where people might, you know, have an ex, they might break up, and then they might get into a relationship farther down, and then their ex is trying to pop back up. Boo, this ain't that. No, I moved on and I'm doing better than I'm happy. Yeah, they see you happy and stuff, and then they want to come back in, and then they want to, you know, mess it up, and then they no, they don't.
And honestly, y'all, like, it's okay to be friends with your ex. Yeah. Like, if y'all come to terms, like, okay, the relationship didn't work out, but I appreciate the friendship. Like, y'all can do that. Like
you I like your personality, and I like who you are as a person, but maybe it didn't work out in a relationship. Yeah, but we can still be there for each other, and we can still, you know, have a friendship.
Right. Like, you don't have to hate your ex. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, y'all can be friends. Y'all can still care for each other, not in like an intimate way, but y'all can still be friends. It's definitely possible. Now, if you feel like, you know, I don't want you in my life, and y'all can agree on that, that's cool. Like, y'all gotta be that.
Yup. That is very true. And then also, like, we have to say for, like, relationships that's like it's this one person that's always asking for stuff. Like, they always want to do something. So how do you feel about somebody that's always constantly texting you, or always, like, just always in a way, or always want something, or they got so many needs? Like, why do you need so much?
Honestly, okay, like, some people like the clingy type. Like, I like the clingy type.
I don't like being up under
but at the same time, no. I'm not saying like that. Like, yeah, that's all. But some people mean, like, they want attention 24/7. And I used to think like that at first. Like, I used to think like that's what I needed in a relationship. But then I had to realize,
that was like, relationship goals, and it's just like,
right. But I had to realize, like, I like my space. So I'm okay with, like, if my boyfriend don't talk to me 24/7. You feel me? Like, we can talk like multiple times out the day, but we don't need to talk every second of the day. Like, that's not needed. As long as, you know, like I said, we talked a couple of times, and you check up on me, I check up on you. I'm cool with that. Like, that's fine for me. Like, sometimes, like, even if you're with your significant other and y'all chilling together, y'all need to be laid up together. Like, sometimes you gotta be in one room and he gotta be in the other. You feel me? Or you gotta be on one side of the couch and he gotta be on the other. Like, just enjoy the company. You don't need to be on FaceTime 24/7. You don't need to fall asleep on the phone every night. Like, it's really not needed.
And then also, I just feel like, me personally, I don't really like, you know, clingy relationships, or relationships where you're up under each other 24/7, because the thing is that you know, you should always be doing something with your life. Like, you should be doing something with your life. So what are you doing with your life that
why are you so busy?
Yeah,
I mean, why are you like
why
chilling?
Yeah, like what are you doing with your life that you have time to lay around 24/7 and be up under your significant other, that you're not keeping yourself or doing something positive or being the best that you could be? Like, why are you always up under each other? So I would think that, okay, well, you know, if you're up under them, maybe you need to reevaluate yourself, that, you know, like, why do I have time for this? Like, what happens when we break up and then, you know, or when we're not together? What am I going to have left to fall back on? Or what am I going to be proud of that if he's not in the picture or if she's not in the picture, what can I say that I appreciate or I like about myself that I have done? So yeah, I would say reevaluate that picture if you up under your significant other 24/7.
And like I mentioned before, like, I'm an easy person. Like, me and Destiny, we both do stuff, a lot of things academically.
Okay.
So if your significant other has a problem with you being busy with other things like programs and things like that, or like if you have a job, that's not okay. Like, they shouldn't have a problem with you doing other things outside of the relationship.
Yes.
They shouldn't have a problem with that. Because it's just like, why are you being lazy? Why are you just laying around?
Yes.
You should be keeping yourself busy as well, because we have a life outside of this relationship.
Exactly. And then even if, like, you know, and even if they don't have anything to do, try putting them on. Or like, even if like they don't have, or they can't find anything that they like to do. As a, like we said, being in a relationship, you are supposed to help each other grow. So if, you know, you're always busy and he doesn't have anything to do, try to put him on to something. All right. I mean, I can't find something specifically to what you want to do, but I got something for you to do in the meantime while we finding something for you to
like
do.
try to
do
something.
Something is always better than nothing.
This job is hiring.
Yes.
Something, like, let them know
something is better than nothing.
They can take advantage of.
Okay? Period. Breakups. So
with breakups, I feel like some people, you know, they be really sad, they be crying and stuff like that, which is fine. But honestly, like, you don't gotta do that. Like, you don't have to be sad and depressed. Like, sometimes when you get out of a relationship, sometimes that's better for you mentally. And all honesty, like, when I was going through a breakup last September, like, at first I was really sad about it, but then I had to feel like, you know what, like, I'm still doing better with my life without him. Like, I honestly wasn't happy in a relationship, and now I'm about to glow on my own. Like, sometimes you gotta put yourself in that mindset. Yeah, maybe you need to listen to some Keisha Cole or some Monica to get you, you know, out of that mood, and then you need to put on some Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion to get yourself riled up.
Get lit, okay? Celebrate.
And even, like, you know, like I said, you don't have to be sad about it, you know. Just take the time, you know. Start to, like, honestly, what I would do, I would take myself out on dates. Like, I would go out and just leave the house, you know, take a walk in the park, listen to music, or I would go grab ice cream by myself, or meet up with one of my friends, you know, talking out with them. Like, do that type of things that make you happy. Like, do what makes you happy. Because honestly, like, you really don't need a boyfriend. You really don't need a boy. You don't need to depend on a boy. So it's fine. Like, going through a breakup is honestly fine. Like, it's normal. Like, it's gonna happen.
And then again, like we said before, do not allow no man or no boy or whatever make you feel like you need them. You don't need them. So if you feel like a breakup is the best thing that will, you know, continue, it's the best thing for you and for them to be able to move forward, then go ahead and do that. And again, like we said before, having a friendship is okay. Like, it's okay to break up and just remain friends. There's no problem with that. But do not allow yourself to be in a relationship and then drain. Like you know, have like a downfall for yourself and them. You know, relationships are about growth. So if you don't see any growth or anything, you know, progressing or anything that is allowing you to be the best person that you could be, then listen, break up, okay? Because it's not like it's not working, and it's okay for things to not work. It's okay. I don't care how cute he is, how much money he got, what he got, or anything. If it's not working, it's okay. Break up. Do not be in a relationship for materialistic things. Like, it's okay to break up. There's nothing wrong with it. Next topic.
Fake friends and toxic people.
Fake friends and toxic.
Okay, so if you feel like your friend is shading you or like doing little things to like basically comfort you, they can't be your friend. Because people will try to be your friend and then they be on the low trying to joke like, oh yeah, why you got on the sneakers? You just wearing those yesterday. Okay, maybe I just like these sneakers.
Okay.
I'm not impressing you.
Okay.
And you shouldn't be trying to make a joke in front of a group of people, but we supposed to be friends. Like, that's not a good friendship. That's a fake friend.
And then also, don't allow people to try to play you and disguise it as jokes.
Right.
Because I done seen a lot of people do this before, even to other people. You know, just, you know, oh, that's why you ugly anyway. I was just playing. Whole time they really be hating on the low.
Yeah, they
like,
really
boo, don't allow nobody do that, because what? No.
That's really how they be feeling.
Yeah.
And if your friend is not supporting you in any way, shape, or form, like, I have a YouTube channel, like, and, you know, as y'all can see, Destiny do too. Like, your friends should be reposting you. Your friends should be supporting you in some way, you know? And they should be watching your channel. Like, they should be supporting it. If you get... I recently got my driver's license. Like, your friends should be congratulating you on accomplishments because they will want you to do the same thing to them.
Because when Mykirah was getting her driver's license, I was like, oh, you want to go get it today? Hey, let's go. Like, your friends should always be supporting you at all times. I mean, if they're not supporting you, then what are they wrong for? Like I said before, why are they at the table if you guys are not being beneficial to each other? So if they can't even do something as simple as supporting you. Supporting do not got no value to it. It don't cost. It's priceless. It don't got no cost to it. I'm not asking you to pull $1 million out your pocket to be able to support me. All I'm asking you to do is to applaud me or to, you know, be by my side. And if you can't do something as simple as that, then why are you here? What are you around at the table for?
Okay. And congratulating someone is priceless as well. Like, it's honestly a genuine thing to do. Like, it's something genuine. It's something so simple. Like, it don't take much
at all. Like, and it could be something like we said before. If your friend has a YouTube channel, like, it's something as simple as doing a repost or, you know, shouting them out or something. That do not take long, boo. You on your phone 9 times out of 10 all day, all the time. You in the house, it's quarantine. What else are you doing that you cannot simply look at your phone, do a screenshot, or repost something on your Insta story or on Twitter or on Snapchat or something? It don't take long. So don't allow anybody to also make excuses as to why they cannot do something so small for you, because boo.
Or even taking the opportunity to watch at least 3 minutes of your video. Like, you could take that time.
Boo, I know you got 180 seconds of your day to do something. Like, boo-bye. Like,
you could take that time. Toxic people, cut them off. You don't need that negative energy. You really don't.
Yes.
No, if it's something as little, like, you could talk it out. Okay, cool. Have that conversation. But if they don't want to change what they're doing or change their mindset or even just, you know, or even, like, they're not willing to have that conversation with you, okay, cool. Let the friendship or relationship go. But other than that, like, you don't need that negative energy. Like, cut them off.
Okay, and even, like, as for toxic relationships or friendships, like, I've had toxic friendships where, you know, people where you can call them out and let them know they're being toxic, and they don't acknowledge that they're being toxic, and they don't take the initiative or take the ownership to be like, okay, dang, like, maybe she was right, maybe let me try changing it, you know I might not be able to notice it, but let me try, maybe she was right. And, you know, sometimes people do not want to do that. So if they're not willing to grow or willing to, you know, do better, then, you know, if your own friends cannot call you out and tell you that you're doing something wrong or call you out, I mean, what is they around for? Or who can really do it? You get what I'm saying? If your own friends can't tell you, who really can tell you? So, you know, maybe they don't need to be in the picture. And then again, like, sometimes people can be very toxic. Like, boom, just cut it off. Anything toxic, relationships, friendships, parents, anything. I don't care what it is, but cut it off, because that can be mentally draining for you. And I don't want to see none of y'all mentally drained, because no, listen,
we still young.
Yes, and we are bosses. So I don't need none of my bosses to be draining, like, at all. If anything, drain about your money. Be draining because you broke today. Like, boom. Drain about that. Don't be draining because somebody else got negative energy around you. What you think this is? Period. Okay, guys, so that was it for the relationship goals video. Be sure, if you have not already, to like, comment, subscribe, and click that red button down below. Yes, and I'm going to also put Locked In with Kira's YouTube channel in the description box. So make sure that y'all guys subscribe and follow her on Instagram at
It's Mykirah, ITS2S.MYKIRAH2H.
And follow me on Instagram at IAMDEEDEE__. And make sure y'all stay up to date. And then we have more coming for y'all with the Real Talk series. And that was it for the relationship goals ones. So guys, stay tuned. Period.